Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let's talk together with Ajmal. Today we are going to discuss the chapter 5, the Delhi Sultanate. Okay, so without any further delay, get started. So all you just open the page number 34. Okay, chapter 5, the Delhi Sultanate. So the Delhi Sultanate period was from 1206 to 1526 is known as the age of the Delhi Sultanate. Okay, so the period for the Delhi Sultanate was 1206 to 1526 is the time of or the period for Delhi Sultanate. And also Delhi was the capital of sultans who conquered a large part of Indian subcontinent. Also the reason why the period called Delhi Sultanate, because the most of Indian subcontinent, most parts of India have conquered by the sultans. Okay, because of that reason only, which is called Delhi Sultanate. Okay, and also at that period, five dynasties ruled during this period. At that period, the five dynasties were there. We can check which are the five major dynasties were ruled. The first dynasty is the slave dynasty. Okay, the slave dynasty was ruled 1206 to 1290 was the period of slave dynasty. Okay, going to the next dynasty, the Khalid dynasty. The Khalji dynasty, which was the period for 1290 to 1320 was the period for Khalji dynasty. Okay, moving to the third period or the third dynasty, which is called the Tughlaq dynasty. Okay, the period of Tughlaq dynasty is 1320 to 1414. Okay, going to the fourth dynasty, which is called the Sayyid dynasty, which is have been the period for 1414 to 1451. Okay, and the fifth dynasty, it is the Lodi dynasty, which is the period for 1451 to 1526. Those are the major five Delhi Sultanate or the Delhi dynasties were ruled at the period of Delhi Sultanate from 1206 to 1526. Okay, so we can move to the first dynasty, which is called the slave dynasty. Okay, so in the slave dynasty, the first line which says that the rulers of this dynasty were called slaves or Mamluk sultans. Okay, so the rulers who were ruling the dynasty were the slaves. Okay, so because of that reason only, which called the slave dynasty. Okay, or we can call the slaves or Mamluk sultans. Okay, Mamluk in Arabic means owned sultans. Okay, Iltutmish and Balban were the slaves of Qutbuddin Aibak, who himself was a slave of Muhammad Ghori. Okay, so Muhammad Ghori was the slave. Qutbuddin Aibak was the slave of Muhammad Ghori. Okay, so because of that reason, what reason? The slave dynasties rulers were slaves of other ruler, so they came to be ruled. So those kingdom or those dynasties were came to called the slave dynasty. Okay, we can move to the first ruler of slave dynasty is the Qutbuddin Aibak. The Qutbuddin Aibak was the first ruler of the slave dynasty. So who was the first ruler of slave dynasty? Qutbuddin Aibak. 1206 and 1210 was the period for Qutbuddin Aibak. So Qutbuddin Aibak was the first ruler of slave dynasty. Okay, and moving to the next point. So after Ghori's death, after Muhammad Ghori's death, Aibak or Qutbuddin Aibak began to rule as an independent ruler. Okay, and he was kind-hearted, generous man. He was called Lakbaksh or giver of lakhs because he gave away a lot of wealth in charity. So he was a good person. Qutbuddin Aibak was a good person. After the death of Muhammad Ghori, he just began to rule by himself as a independent ruler. But he was a good ruler. It shows that the historians gives the information that he was a good ruler and a kind-hearted, and also he just called a name Lakbaksh, which means that he used to give many lots of money in charity. Okay, yes, and also he have constructed discuss the second slave dynasty's ruler, which is Qutbuddin Shamsuddin Iltutmish. Shamsuddin Iltutmish was the second ruler of slave dynasty. Okay, so Qutbuddin was succeeded by Iltutmish, and he was considered the real founder of Sultanate. So he just Shamsuddin Iltutmish was followed after Aibak. After Qutbuddin Aibak only, Shamsuddin Iltutmish came to rule, and he undertook the following steps. So after become a ruler, Shamsuddin Iltutmish become ruler. He just began many steps. We can check what are the steps he just showed. That page number 34, last point, we can check. Shifted the capital from Lahore to Delhi. So before that, their capital was in Lahore. So what they have done, they just changed the capital from Lahore to Delhi. Okay, and also consolidated his position by suppressing rebellious nobles and Rajput chiefs. Consolidated his position by suppressing rebellious nobles and Rajput chiefs. So he just himself give all the powers he just gained by himself. So no any powers given to any others, just like nobles or any other chiefs didn't give any role or ruling power. He just himself take the power. And the third one, refused to give shelter to the ruler of Persia who was being chased by the Mongol chief, and also he just refused to give to shelter to the ruler of Persia when the ruler of Persia came to him for help, but he didn't give any shelter to the ruler of Persia. And also he just expanded empire up to Bengal in the east, and also he just expanded the Bengal in the east. His empire also expanded while he was ruling. Iltutmish was ruling, he just expanded the Bengal also. And the next point, reorganized the land revenue system and minted coins out of gold and silver. Till Iltutmish, the people used to give for trading purpose, for business purpose, they used to give the gold and silvers. But after the coming of Iltutmish, he changed the gold coin and silver coin, and he just changed that into real coins. Okay, instead of gold and silver coins, they used to make a different coins for purchasing or selling or for business and trading purposes. Okay, and the last point, completed the construction of the Qutub Minar. So the Iltutmish, Shamsuddin Iltutmish only constructed the complete Qutub Minar. Okay, that's the major steps or the major important steps taken by the Shamsuddin Iltutmish. His ruling period was 1211 to 1236. Okay, so while looking to the third ruler, it was Razia Sultan. Razia Sultan was the third slave dynasty's ruler. We can check what are the things she has done. So Razia's reign was short but eventful. So Razia didn't got much time to rule, but it shows that the history shows that she got less period, but she was eventful. More work she has done for the country and for the people. We can check what are the things she has done. She proved to be the able ruler. She established law and order and led the army from the front. So she only established the law and order for the people and for everyone. And also she just led the army from the front. Okay, so only she was the good leader who leading the army from the front. Okay, and she also undertook welfare measures such as building roads and setting up the chowkis or postal stations. Okay, and also many of the works for building roads and all the other construction works have been done by the Razia Sultan. Okay, and the Razia further upset the nobles when she tried to reduce their power and took decision without consulting them. And also Razia further upset the nobles when she tried to reduce their power and took decisions without consulting them. And none of the noble people, none of the chiefs didn't like the Razia Sultan, because Razia Sultan just holding or just do the decisions by herself. Because of that reason only many of the nobles and chiefs didn't like her behavior. So the nobles got together and revolted. She was deposed in 1240 and died soon after. Okay, and also what happened? So soon after, the noble people joined together and started to fight against Razia Sultan. And what happened? She defeated there and she died after the war in 1240. Okay, and next we are going to discuss the Ghiasuddin Balban. Ghiasuddin Balban was the next the slave ruler or the slave dynasty's ruler. So the Balban was the most powerful ruler of the slave dynasty. So by the history we can check that the Ghiasuddin Balban was the most Nasiruddin Muhammad. So it shows that the history shows that the Balban has the most important powerful ruler of in the time of slave dynasty. Okay, and also he took various measures to consolidate the sultanate, and also he has taken many steps, many important steps to construct or to involve the kingdom. So we can check what all the things he have taken for his kingdom. The first one, he reorganized and strengthened the army. He reorganized, he maintained the discipline, he maintained the proper warfare techniques, he showed that all the things to his army. The second point, he fought against the local rulers and defeated many of them. He fought many of the local rulers or local regions, were the local regional kingdoms also were there at the time of Balban. So what he have done, he just fought them and defeated them and he captured that land. And the third point, the third step he has done is that he crushed the power of the nobles to prevent them from revolting again. So many of the rulers have faced the problem that the nobles people, the chiefs used to fight against the rulers. So here the Balban do that, didn't give any power to the nobles, so they will not come to revolt against them. And the fourth point, he fortified the northwestern borders against the possible Mongol raids. So he built many new forts and repaired the old one. And also the northwestern borders against the possible Mongolian raids will come. Mongolians will come and rush and defeat them. So it is very difficult. So what he have done, he built many new forts and arranged some militaries or some soldiers there to protect. So those are the major 4 steps done by the Balban at that time. Okay, and also Balban restored the power and prestige of the monarchy. He just captured, he just built, he just re-entered the prestige of the entire kingdom. Okay, that are the major steps done by the Balban. We can check what are the major difficulties of the slave kings. Okay, some of the difficulties also faced by the slave kings. We can check what all that. The sultans had to deal with numerous problems. Okay, so we know that if a ruler has to not only to rule very good events, but also they can face many numerous problems also. We can check what is the first problem. The first problem shows that the slave rulers did not belong to royal families. Hence, there were many contenders to the throne. The nobles sought means to increase their power at the expense of the Sultan. To keep them in check was the major issue for the Sultan. So it shows that we can understand that the slave rulers, even the Balban or Aibak or Iltutmish or the Razia Sultan, they were not belong to any royal families. They were the slaves of other rulers. So what happened there? The noble people were not ready to bring them to the throne or give the position as a ruler. So that also faced the first problem. Now moving to the second problem or difficulties faced by the slave king was that the Rajputs and the Indian rulers had not been completely suppressed, and they frequently revolted against the Turkish ruler. They got, or the slave kings or the Delhi Sultanate rulers or the dynasties got continuously war from whom? From the Rajput rulers. It also major problem or the difficulties faced by the slave kings. Okay, and the third difficulty faced by the slave king of Delhi Sultanate was the Mongols or the Mongolians, who had grown powerful under Chinggis Khan. Chinggis Khan was the major powerful king from Mongol. Okay, so he also continuously or constantly threatened or defeated or came to war or came to revolt against the Sultanate or the slave king. So those are the major three important difficulties faced by the slave kings. Okay, and today we have discussed about the Delhi Sultanate and the five major dynasties. And the first dynasties we have discussed about the slave dynasty, and the period also we have discussed about Qutbuddin Aibak and Shamsuddin Iltutmish and Razia Sultan, Ghiyasuddin Balban, and also about the major three difficulties faced by the slave kings also we have discussed today. Okay, if you have any doubt you can comment below, and also from next class or the next video we can discuss the remaining dynasties about the Khalji dynasties and Tughlaq, Sayyid, Lodi dynasties we can discuss in the coming videos. So thanks for today. Bye bye.